Yo, I don't know how many of you are into streamers, but you might have seen this video where Kai Cenat was talking about some of his struggles with mental health, and then a few days later said, "Anime has always been something I wanted to get myself into, but I never had the time to try and actually watch. But when I did, without me realizing, anime was able to take me into another world that I can relate to. It felt weird because in a way it was speaking directly to me." He went on to talk about Death Note and Naruto and some of the messages those shows imparted on him. And that got me thinking, right? What is it about anime that always seems to light a fire under people? It's clear that Kai is going through something. I'm not gonna speak for him and say he's depressed because he went out of his way to say that he wasn't. But if you wonder where I've been for the last 5 fucking months, it's because I've been dealing with my own little episode. You know. Now, I've been dealing with depression for as long as I can remember it, and I want to say I think I've gotten pretty damn good at it. I mean, I gotta be at least diamond elo with no aim assist, with no antidepressants, erectile dysfunction as a side effect. Bitch, I'd rather die! But seriously, I can recognize when it's coming on. I know logically the steps I have to take to get over it, and I know emotionally that I have to give myself the time and grace to process those feelings. And anyone who's dealt with depression can tell you about the fucking brain worms that come with it that inject these evil ass thoughts directly to your fucking skull. Virtue, I can't believe you don't know the answer to this problem. You're a fraud, Virtue. You don't deserve to work here. You're gonna get fired. Virtue, forget the work problem, Virtue. Nobody asked you to play video games today. Nobody genuinely likes spending time with you, Virtue. They do it because they have to. Your mom didn't even get you anything from McDonald's, Virtue. She hates you. Everybody hates you. And normally, right? I think what helps me is I can kind of take a step back and look at these situations logically and either completely disprove them at best. Like, yes, man, my mom of 23 years who raised me by herself definitely hates me because she didn't get me a McButtfart sandwich from a restaurant I don't even like. Or at absolute worst, recognize that this is an issue that comes from me, that I can change something about myself to fix long term. But man, this most recent time, the worm, the bitch ass that he is, had some new DLC for me. The worm got some new mix-up and god damn it, I got opened up. It was this cruel ass thought that the depression is the default emotion, that all the good and happiness is a desperate distraction from what will ultimately end up back here. That just the regularness and the monotony of life was too much for me. That I'm this city mouse who needs to have these huge lofty goals and struggle to chase them and fail and could never find peace in simplicity. That's not something I felt like I could disprove logically. I can't, in the heat of the moment, map out a timeline of my entire life and be like, yes, this moment doesn't end in complete disaster. Wormy is slinging that crack again. I can recognize that I'm blessed beyond belief, that I've been given lottery ticket after lottery ticket in life. I mean, this most recent wave came after a trip I went on to fucking Japan. That's bucket list level shit. And I was happy there, but because as soon as I got back to the house, I was fucking miserable again, it felt like it was contributing to that same cycle. And in these moments of depression, of hopelessness, of not wanting to do anything or to be around anybody, I always fall back on TV, on a binge. I guess because it's not active and it doesn't really require anything of me, I can just fucking ride like the damn bitch you live like this pic. And it's in these quote unquote depression binges that I feel like I find so much of my favorite TV. BoJack Horseman and Parasite, Breaking Bad and Gurren Lagann, The Sopranos, and originally that's how I watched My Hero Academia. And this time, yet again, I was watching My Hero Academia, the last season instead of the first 2. And man, I've never rated My Hero as the best show, but as flawed as it can be sometimes, or how I think it can miss the mark a little on some of its themes, but fuck if it doesn't make me emotional for some reason. For all of its faults, I think it really understands at its core heroes and hope. So many of my favorite moments of that show don't even come from the main cast, but from the crowd, from the people that are being saved. That Natsu looking ass character pointing to the sky on the news broadcast and saying, look, or the woman looking up at a frail and beaten All Might telling them not to lose. I don't even remember what the line was specifically this time. It was something like, you could never give up on your dream, could ya? Or despite it all, you continue to struggle. I didn't even go back and try to find it because I don't think that's what's important. I think what's important is that My Hero, that Naruto, that Death Note, that anime, that music, that art is a reminder of something that is so easy to forget. That life is coming from you and not at you. that desire for redemption or growth or perspective doesn't just live in the characters or story, but within yourself. You hear people say all the time that an album or a show or a movie saved their life. It's easier to say that, but I don't think it's true. The truth is that you save your own life. Everything you need is within you already, and if it wasn't, the art wouldn't be able to bring it out of you. It can only do that because some part of you wants it to. I still don't have a hard, logical answer to my problem, but I can look forward with that idea that life is coming from me and not at me, and try to bring back shit that made me happy in Japan, as much of it as I can, or bring back stuff from earlier that made me feel fulfilled, like uploading here, and build my life and perspective around those things. And hopefully, if that ugly ass worm rears its head again, I'll be Grandmaster Elo this time.
I can only tell you about yourself as much as I can face about myself. You go through your life for a long time, you think that no one has ever suffered the way I've suffered. You know, my God. And then you realize, you read something, you hear something, and you realize that your suffering does not isolate you. That your suffering is your bridge. That many people have suffered before you. Many people are suffering around you, and always will. And all you can do is bring, hopefully, a little light into that suffering. Enough light so the person who is suffering can begin to comprehend his suffering and begin to live with it and begin to change it. To change his situation. We don't change anything. All we can do is invest people with the morale to change it for themselves.